Praise the Lord, everybody. I pray you've had a wonderful Christmas holiday and enjoying time with family and friends. I'm just having me some much needed porch therapy on today. Just excited about 2026 and just so thankful for all that He has done in 2025. And even though the holiday is coming to an end, it doesn't mean that we stop doing the very thing that we came together to celebrate, and that was the birth of Jesus. We can celebrate all year long, and so I want to encourage you all to continue doing what God has called you to do, continue to share of His goodness, to just soak in and bask in His presence. All right, and so I was thinking about been talking to one of my dear friends of mine, and so it was a few mornings ago I woke up with the thought of when Abraham had to be obedient and do what God had called him to do and asked him to do, which was to take his son Isaac to be sacrificed. And it's one thing we need to understand as men and women of God, as children of God. When God asks us to do something, the obedience is needed now in that moment. And what I like about Abraham, he didn't sit around to try to explain a bunch of stuff to other people. He just got up, he took his son, he took a few other people, and once they got to a certain point, okay, on the journey, he had to cut some people loose and say, me and my son, we're going to go on up on our own. And that's what we've got to understand. We can never get to the next if we're not willing to follow the instructions in the now moment. And in the now moment, sometimes that requires us to cut some things off, whether it be people, places, things, associations, affiliations, whatever the case may be, because our heart belongs to God, or it should belong to God, meaning there's nothing else that truly matters. We're not willing to allow any barrier to come in between you and God. And so I like how he told others, I got it from here. And so that's what we have to understand. We have to separate if we ever intend to get the fullness, get the blessings of God, if we intend to receive the promotion or the elevation. Sometimes we have to cut off from some things, not to be harsh, not to be ugly, not to be rude, but to be obedient. Okay, I'd rather be guilty of being obedient to God than worrying about somebody taking offense to me being obedient to God. And so that's what I wanted to remind you of on today and every day moving forward. Understand and know where your loyalty lies, and know that it doesn't require any explanation, it doesn't require validation, it requires none of that, because God has told you what to do. And so as you continue to read the story, it's in Genesis 22. You see where he gets there, and at some point his son says, well, daddy, and I'm paraphrasing, where's the sacrifice? Okay, Abraham was committed to the cause. If it meant him sacrificing his only son, that is what he was going to do. But because of his obedience, okay, his right now obedience, God had a ram in the bush for him. And so sometimes, we may be sitting back trying to figure out how things are going to come, how they're going to work out. But God has already worked it out. He just needs us to move now. And so you sit around and wonder, when is my blessing coming? When is my breakthrough coming? When you decide to move, when you decide to be obedient to God. And so what I want you to understand is sometimes separation is necessary. Sometimes you have to cut off from things that may be a distraction, that may be of a hindrance to you being able to hear from God. Sometimes He has been speaking, but you can't hear Him because of all the other unnecessary noise in your ear that's coming from left, right, top, bottom, whatever the case may be. So when you separate from those things, I promise you, you will begin to hear from God. You will begin to hear from Abba Father, because He has been talking, but He needs you to separate. And so I pray that you all will read Genesis 22 in its entirety. Very, very good content. And I think it will bless you immensely. All right. So I'm just again enjoying some quiet time on my porch with me a cup of coffee. And I just, this came back to my remembrance. I said I was going to do something, and so I wanted to take time to share that with you all on today. All right. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Know that I love you to life and that there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Be blessed.